This is Wiggum from Clanrad Omega giving you a recap of war number 203. First of all, shout out to Groudon, who created that intro and the outro that you'll see in the video a little bit later. Gives us a certainly more professional and polished look. We went up against a level 8 Chinese clan, and you can see the war still going on, but for all intents and purposes it's over. And this was a little bit closer than most of our wars. A couple of reasons. First, a little bit of suspicious activity on their side, maybe some modding. And they had decent hero levels and decent bases, so we didn't get 3 stars all the way down the map like we normally do. How about a couple of close calls, like I had a 99% there on their number 5, that was pretty disappointing, but decent effort overall. And so I'm going to show you 6 attacks from this, and I'm going to start with Brad Piff's attack on their number 18. Now you'll notice quite a few hogs here. What he's going to do is, this was a scouted base, so he sends a hog down south to try to get that double giant bomb. Doesn't work. So he transitions over to the other side where he knows he's going to get the lure, and you notice he got 1 giant bomb, and now that his hogs are pathing over, they'll get another giant bomb. So 1 double giant bomb is neutralized, and he's also got a clean lure. Going to bring it to the top with an anchor archer. Then he's going to drop a witch, which will really do a great job in distracting dragons and loons, particularly the loons. They're going to go for those skeletons and never do anything productive, while his archer queen simply takes everything down. Now you notice he goes with 1 golem. It's common at Town Hall 9 to go with 2, sometimes even 3 golems, and you're going to see those variants in this recap. But here he just needs 1 golem. Why? Because he has his he has a lure completely done, and the archer queen is very accessible. And now he's started his hogging. He knows where the double giant bomb is, and he knows he's going to have some sacrificial hogs down there. So some of them die to that double giant bomb. That's not a problem. He's got plenty of other hogs. And what he's going to do is he's going to have these 3 packs of hogs. They're going to converge. Now that heal was a tad early, but it's okay, because his hogs are going to get into heal range very quickly, and that's going to help them as they tank both the skeletons and the Barbarian King. So he loses a few to springs, not a problem. Goes ahead and deploys some of his cleanup wizards on the side of the base where his hogs have cleared. You'll notice his archer queen is at full health. That last heal is just perfect. Perfect placement against all the point defenses remaining, and the skeletons and the Barbarian King. And now that the point defenses are down, the hogs will finally turn around, address those skeletons, and from here it's just a very straightforward cleanup. You can see he has cleanup on every side of the base. Every troop is involved doing something. His witch, in conjunction with archers, even take out that Barbarian King so it doesn't take any more hogs, and just a very clean hit. Next attack we're going to see is Tito Spot taking down the number 13. This was a cleanup attack. You'll note from the time that this was a very fast attack. So he goes ahead and drops his 2 golems with quite a few wizards, and he drops minions up north to create a funnel. Now I really like this. The minions cannot be hit by the cannon. They're too far out of range for the air defense. This is something that's overlooked a lot at Town Hall 9, is using minions as a funneling troop. They are more cost effective and sometimes can get a lot more done than wizards. So you see he's jumping his kill squad in over that exterior cannon. Again, facing a dragon with 2 loons. He's got a poison down on it. His Barbarian King's taken some damage, but his queen's going to come in and quickly address that CC. Barbarian King's down, but the opposing AQ is down, so not a problem. He goes ahead and pre-heals on this Tesla. There's 1 giant bomb triggered by a wizard. That's fine. Going to be tanking the Archer King, or the Barbarian King, for a while, and he's tanking a giant bomb there, so why is having a heal? And he brings in some more hogs on that west cannon just to shape his base. He wants his hogs to path efficiently, and now you notice they're all pathing in the same direction, which is toward that last heal, which is important because pretty much every hog is going to benefit from that remaining heal, healing them up mostly to full so they can take down those last 2 point defenses, take out these skeletons, take out the Barbarian King. And he has 1 wizard that he hasn't deployed yet for cleanup. Be nice to have it down sooner rather than later, but considering his cleanup is so well organized already, it's kind of hard to tell where to put it. And his Archer Queen's still up. She's contributing. Take out that high hit point building before she beats on a wall. And before she can get back into the fray, his remaining troops are going to take out the remaining buildings. So excellent cleanup attack. Next attack is by Aya, number 12. Now this is a stone Goho, and I want to point out a couple of things. First, look at the size of this funnel. Whenever you have a stoned Goho, you don't want to clump up your golems. You want each golem to tank a certain section of buildings. He goes ahead and drops his CC golem down where he wants his kill squad to go, but he's got a very wide funnel, which is going to make sure that his heroes go where he wants them to go, which is into this compartment to take out a couple of point defenses. Now he does have one golem there on the left-hand side, which is not contributing, although indirectly it is because it's tanking for these wizards as they take out some more buildings, so that's very valuable. So he's got his jump down optimally placed. This Barbarian King is going to path in there and take out the opposing EQ. He does this before the clan castle can even arrive. Oftentimes you worry about your Barbarian King tanking. In this case it doesn't happen because the CC isn't there in time. And he's gone ahead and started hogging. Now this is very, very wise. He started hogging before the clan castle's even down yet, just trusting that it's going to die. And the great advantage of this is he's going to preserve his Archer Queen. So I want you to watch how. His golem's currently taking for his Archer Queen. His Archer Queen's taking out that Expo, and the hogs are taking out the Tesla, which is the other thing which would attack the Archer Queen. And now he's got hogs on the backside, deployed in a fairly surgical fashion. Cleanup wizards go down immediately to start chewing through those storages while the hogs are still finishing the base. So all those troops are deployed before the last point defense is down. That's a very good sign. He has his hogs in a position where they're going to go to high hit point buildings. That's also very good. His Archer Queen's cleaning up the side that his hogs and wizards are not on. So this is very optimal in terms of cleanup. And that's why this attack has absolutely no time issues. Archers and a golem beating on some walls, but that's okay. You don't really count on them for cleanup anyway. This golem that was tanking those defenses on the left-hand side's trying to get involved, but he's way too slow. These hogs are too fast. And just look how many hogs are still left alive. That's a ton. Very good hit. Next attack is a cleanup from Boot. Now, whenever you look at this base, I want to just pause. You can read this base pretty easily. You can tell by those walls pushed out that that's probably where the double giant bombs are, and then that leaves Teslas in the core. So it's pretty easy to see the shape of this base. In some ways it's reminiscent of kind of a Southern Teaser style layout. So Boot's going to drop a couple golems and then wizards immediately. Not spamming the wizards, one per. He's got that high hit point Dark Elixir storage up that his Archer Queen is hitting. He's got his funnel created. He's got the CC out and partially dead. He goes ahead and drops another golem to help tank. And you see his Barbarian King is taking absolutely 0 damage right now because he delayed that drop. So a wide funnel allows you to get a delayed drop, which means this Barbarian King is going to be able to do a ton of work. Takes out the Archer Queen, but that's not all you want him to do. You want him to tank as well. So now he's got hogs in kind of a wall fashion. And he goes and heals that double giant bomb, and you note he sets off one giant bomb at a time. So his hogs actually lived through that. So he planned out how to path his hogs and how to heal so that he could preserve quite a few of them and not lose them to a double giant bomb. He's also healed this core where the Teslas are, and he set off the other double giant bomb with his Archer Queen. So you'll note that he's already got his cleanup wizards down up top. That's useful because all of his other damage is on the south side of the base and will remain there. Hogs are cleaning up these last couple of buildings. There's a mortar that they've got a path to. But his Barbarian King's still alive. His Archer Queen's still alive. He has several hogs remaining and a couple of cleanup wizards. And so the only thing you worry about is the Barbarian King taking out your hogs if they target a storage or something, but that doesn't happen here. And he retains enough DPS to just breeze right through the remainder of the base. All right, now this was a fresh attack by T on their number 9. If you've watched other recaps, you know that T is extremely good. He pretty much is almost a guaranteed 6-star for almost every war. It's pretty crazy. But he's gone ahead and dropped a couple of golems. This is a Shattered Goho. Goes ahead and drops his jump. Now, you may wonder why you're seeing so many Gohos, Shattered, Cold Blood, Stoned, etc. The reason is because of the way they're building, the enemy team built their bases. They're very vulnerable to that. And because, frankly, there are very few bases at Town Hall 9 that cannot be hogged for 3 stars. So his Archer Queen is tied down with that Hound, but it's not a problem because she's under a rage spell, so she takes down the Hound very quickly. That's important. If you don't use a rage spell, what often happens is your Archer Queen will not take the jump, and then she's left without a roll because she's outside of the walls for a cleanup or to take out some of those important core defenses. So here T already has most of this base already hogged. He's got 2 heal spells left. And even though he doesn't have a crushing wave of hogs anywhere, he has hogs everywhere. So he has great breadth in his hog spread there. Goes ahead and drops his cleanup wizards. Got 1 more to drop. That's going to go down shortly. You see his queen is still participating in cleanup. The wizards are going to be cleaning toward this uncleared side of the base, which is important, so their pathing is good. Goes ahead and uses that Archer Queen ability to just get through that wall a little faster, help her contribute. Now, notice also that T has only set off 1 giant bomb in this whole base. There are 4, and he's only set off 1 of the 4 because he has pathed his hogs and his kill squad very, very well. You'll see in a moment, actually, that his Archer Queen actually trips the last double giant bomb right at the very end. So they're converging on this last storage, and the Archer Queen pops that double giant bomb, but only 1 can even explode before it's all over. Okay, the last attack I'm going to show you is Sorok attacking their number 2. Now this is a Town Hall 10 attack that only 2-starred, but I think it's really notable for a number of reasons, so I wanted to go ahead and show it. So he starts with an AQ walk, and he's creating an AQ walk, and he's gone ahead and dropped a giant to tank, and then a wizard and an archer to try to create a funnel for his Archer Queen. He's dropped an earthquake down south. The rationale behind that is he's going to create 1 very large compartment. The Archer Queen has proximity pulled the clan castle and triggered it, and now he's going to go ahead and drop a poison to take care of that wizard because his Archer Queen's beating on the Hound. He dropped a rage so that he could get more damage on his Archer Queen, and also so that his healers can get the benefit of that and heal the Queen. And now his Queen goes the way he probably didn't want her to go. But he's going to adapt a strategy. So he wanted her to go the opposite direction, east in other words, so that he could benefit from his earthquake placement. Archer Queen pathing can be a little fickle and hard to anticipate sometimes. The order in which she chooses to do a building can be somewhat difficult. And even if you've spent a lot of time farming with healers and Archer Queens and masters, as most of us have, even with 1,000 attacks on your belt, it still might not be obvious which way she's going to path, or predictable for that matter. So he goes ahead and drops golems down south, and he's got to save his Archer Queen, so he goes ahead and drops a rage, trying to preserve her ability. He's creating a very large funnel here, and goes ahead and drops his 6 witches and his Barbarian King to path in. So he's got to get to that town hall. Now, the witches do fairly well against this multi-inferno if you can take 1 inferno at a time. If both infernos hit you at the same time, you're in trouble. You see, he judiciously uses that freeze spell to prevent the Inferno Tower from taking out a couple of his witches, because it had a couple of witches targeted, and he was able to freeze it, and then he was able to kill it before it took down more than a few. Now, he's still got the majority of his witches alive. He's got both heroes left. They're beating their way into the town hall compartment. Obviously, that wouldn't happen if the Archer Queen had pathed the correct way, but he's adapting on the fly. His Archer Queen is still alive, kind of at a fraction of a health. A couple mortar shots would take her down, but she's doing a ton of damage here. And you noticed he gets the Town Hall, he gets a lot of defenses, his Barbarian King's still almost at full health, the Inferno's down. There isn't much left to really oppose his army, particularly his witches, but he does run out of time. This is one of those instances where if you had, you know, an extra 30 seconds on your attack timer, like Supercell has announced, then you would be able to get all of your, you probably would have been able to clear that base or come a lot closer. So between the AQ pathing and the timer, wasn't able to secure the 3, but a very, very solid 2, and a strat that I think is going to become more common once the update hits. In particular, AQ walks I think are going to be much more viable at Town Hall 10. The biggest drawback for an AQ walk is the amount of time it takes, but obviously if we add 30 seconds to the clock, it makes it much more possible and feasible to do that. So expect, I think, to see more of this come the update. Also, expect a little bit more production from Town Hall 10 attacks because of the extra dark spell that they get. Could be an earthquake, or it could be that they get an earthquake and that allows them to take another rage or another freeze. There are a number of different possibilities for it, but I think it's going to change the Town Hall 10 meta significantly. And that's not speaking about new units or new buildings, which is all hypothetical at this point. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this video, and stay tuned as we recap Future Wars.